I don't have to blame myself for not putting in enough efforts. Because if I'm going to blame myself that, oh, this happened because of me, oh, I could not do this, that means you're going to treat yourself as if you did something very wrong, and you'll never be able to overcome that, and you'll always continue to punish yourself. We are being told right from our childhood a lot of things that we should not be confident about. It could be the color of my skin, it could be my body structure, it could be the place that I come from. We think that, okay, my career is going to get better, I'm going to be more confident, I'm going to express myself in a better manner. But with that improvement in your career, with that improvement in your job, there also comes an improvement in your relationships. That need to bring that shift in the mindset that, oh, I can do this. So I would say big change in the mindset is required in order to break self-doubt. Being an introvert, let's say I wouldn't talk to a lot of people. Now I'm finding myself like very excited to talk to people, and now I'm learning from other people. So as you mentioned that, yes, it is something that affects our personal life. My biggest fear was to create videos and put on Instagram. And I think I've done that. How I did it is by just doing it and realizing that nobody cares, nobody judges. It's just my mind telling this to myself, and that is how I got rid of the doubt regarding it.
Hello and welcome back to Miss Mind. I am your host Suman Kavjan, and I'm thrilled to have you join us today for a topic that literally shapes every part of our life, from how we present ourselves to how we make decisions, handle failures, and even how to love ourselves. Yes, I'm talking about personality development and confidence building. So, we all want to be more confident, more expressive, more us. But how do we really get there? So, joining us today is someone who has transformed hundreds of lives through her practical and powerful insight. Ruchika Gulati, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Welcome to Miss Mind.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today. So, people, she is a well known personality development coach with years of experience helping people. She brings in not just knowledge but real, lived understanding of what works, what not. In this conversation, we are going to talk about how to shift our mindset, adopt new habits, or building a personality that reflect our potential. Or don't miss the rapid fire round at the end. It's going to be super fun. So be ready. Let's take a dive into it and explore the world of personality development and confidence building. So, ma'am, let's begin with the very foundation. Most of people associate personality development with outer appearance by looking smart, speaking fluent English, or working confidently. But personality development is so much more, right? So, how would you define personality development in true sense?
Great topic. I think great question to begin this podcast with. Personality development, of course, as you mentioned, is not just about looking good, speaking English fluently. It's a lot more than that. It's about being the best version of yourself. And when I talk about being the best version of yourself, that means in all aspects. So when you're talking about your personality, it could be you being best in terms of your uh, social personality, your emotional side, then your physical appearance, at the same time, your physical health, your mental being. So when we talk about personality development, it's not just about you getting into an avatar or you getting into a zone where you look great. It's also about when you feel good about each and every aspect of your life, or even if you don't feel good but you are aware of each and every aspect of your life and you're ready to develop that. That's when personality development comes into the picture. So yes, it is about looking good, but at the same time it's also about working on your mental being. It's also about working on your emotional aspect. It's also about you like developing social side of your personality, and then the physical being as well. So when we cover all these things, that's when we are covering personality development. Otherwise we are just covering the physical aspect of it. That's looking good.
Okay, well said, ma'am. And, ma'am, from your experience, what are some of the most important life areas that get positively transformed when someone actively works on developing their personality?
I think the major impact that we have is on our relationships, because usually when we are thinking of developing our personality, we are always thinking about the career. We think that, okay, my career is going to get better. I'm going to be more confident. I'm going to express myself in a better manner. But with that improvement in your career, with that improvement in your job, there also comes an improvement in your relationships. That means how you, uh, first of all, relationship with yourself, how you look at yourself, how you think
Yes.
about yourself, what you think that you can do. Similarly, how you communicate to other people, how you let other people see you, right? So there are a
Exactly.
lot of aspects. So all the aspects that I took name of in the first question, all of them get improved. So when you develop your personality, it's not about you just gaining one skill that will help you master your career. It's also about you uh, probably developing emotional intelligence, or being mentally healthy, or working on your physical health, or working on your relationships. So everything gets, I think, improved, and everything gets impacted in a positive manner.
ओके। मैम मैं आपसे ये जानना चाहूंगी कि क्या ये एक प्रोफेशनल स्किल है या इससे हमारी पर्सनल लाइफ भी इम्प्रूव होती है, जैसा अभी आपने रिलेशनशिप का बोला, तो इसमें आप और कुछ पॉइंटर्स यदि ऐड करना चाहो तो।
Definitely. So it's yeah. So what we see usually around us, when anybody tries to improve their personality, they often come up with this reason that, oh, I want to improve my personality because I want to clear some interview. I want to get that particular job. I want to get a promotion. I want to get admission in this particular college. These are usually some of the reasons that people have in order to start developing their personality. But when they start doing that, they realize that, oh, I'm becoming a better person. Oh, I'm learning how to communicate well. Oh, my relationship is also getting better with my partner, with my
So
parents, with
true.
my friends. I'm also able to communicate well with people I don't even know. So earlier, let's say me being an introvert, let's say I wouldn't talk to a lot of people. Now I'm finding myself like very excited to talk to people, and now I'm learning from other people. So as you mentioned that, yes, it is something that affects our personal life. Uh, I would say in a holistic manner. How?
Yes.
To give an example, like if I look at me and my partner, so I'm somebody who's an introvert who doesn't like to talk a lot. Okay, and my husband, he loves talking, he loves expressing, he loves communicating, and I'm completely opposite. I'm like, okay, I would like communicate in one liners about things that has happened all over my day, and it's done. And then I realized that, okay, maybe this is a part of me that I never explored. But when I started developing my personality, I realized, okay, maybe if I communicated in this way, maybe if I communicate better, maybe if I explain this in such a manner, I'm able to have better relationship with my husband, with my partner. It could be my parents, it could be my friends. So we start developing our personalities because we want to improve our careers, but then we realize that, oh, career is just a part of our life that is getting improved by developing our personality. Majorly, I am getting better, my relationship with myself is getting better, and I think that's number one when we talk about personal aspect. And then my relationship with other people also starts getting better because now we are more self-aware. So definitely it's not just a professional skill, it's I would say a way to improve our life completely.
So true, ma'am. Completely agree with this. Okay, so my next question is, one of the biggest obstacle people face in personal growth is self doubt, right? ये वो constant voice है जो कहीं ना कहीं हमारे back of the mind कह रही होती है, you can't do this or you are not good enough. And unfortunately, it stops people before they even try. In your view, how does self doubt develop? It is a childhood conditioning or societal pressure or personal failure.
Okay, so self doubt is something that I have myself experienced in my life. I have myself faced and I would say overcome as well. So that's what you just mentioned, that it could be something that begins with childhood conditioning, but there are different ways that we start developing self doubt. So one I would say is direct conditioning, and another is indirect conditioning. Now both of these could start right at the childhood, or both of these could start a bit later in your life, maybe in your teenage days, or maybe even in your late 20s or late 30s. It could be any point of time, but these are two different ways. Direct conditioning, I would say, when somebody is directly coming to you and telling you, oh, you're not good at it. Oh, you can't do this because you don't have this. Oh, I don't think you should be able to take part in this because you don't look good, or you don't have this skill, or you can't speak in English fluently, or maybe other people look better than you. if somebody is coming and directly telling you, which specifically in Indian households with women and with girls, with everybody, I think it happens with men as well. We are being told right from our childhood a lot of things that we should not be confident about. It could be the color of my skin, it could be my body structure, it could be the place that I come from, right? So that's directly being told to us by our family members in a general manner, and that starts taking a place somewhere inside us, and that starts making me think, oh, I'm doubtful about myself. Maybe I'm not that great. So that is where self doubt begins. And another indirect conditioning, I would say, when nobody is coming and telling you, but you're still feeling all of these things. So as a part of things going around you, you start noticing that, oh, maybe people who are fair are preferred more than me. So now I'm like, okay, maybe I'm dusky. So I start having that self doubt that many girls have. Similarly, for men, they start feeling that, okay, men who are taller, they are being preferred or they are looked at in a certain way, whereas somebody who doesn't have that much of height, they are not being looked at that way. So they start thinking, they start being doubtful about their height. Now nobody came and told them, but they saw this happening in the society. So that's
Yes.
in direct conditioning that started happening. So as you said, self-doubt, there are a lot of ways that can happen. It could be something that you start having with indirect conditioning or direct conditioning, but definitely our society makes, like, not intentionally or unintentionally, like because of the things happening around us, we start feeling a lot doubtful about us.
यस। मैम, जब हम सेल्फ डाउट की बात करते हैं तो ये डीपली रूटेड हो जाता है। देन व्हाट आर सम इफेक्टिव एंड रियलिस्टिक स्ट्रेटजीज टू ब्रेक दैट साइकिल एंड स्टार्ट ट्रस्टिंग योरसेल्फ अगेन?
I would say mindset shift. What I
ओके।
mean by mindset shift is when you are doubtful about yourself, you're thinking about yourself in a certain way that I'm A, B, C, and I'm not X, Y, Z, right?
हम
So
क्लासिफाई
this
कर
is
देते
a,
हैं खुद को कि हमारा ये
yeah.
लेवल है, अब हम इस पे आ गए हैं, अब हम इस पे आ गए हैं, चाहे वो नीचे से ऊपर हो या ऊपर से नीचे हो।
Correct, absolutely. So I have some beliefs about myself which are making me feel doubtful. My belief is, for example, I can't speak in front of a group of people, and that's when I'm asked to give a presentation, I'm very nervous and I'm very doubtful, and I don't take that opportunity in my life, and as a result, I don't grow. So this is one very common example of being, I would say, doubtful. Right. So this is a belief that I have about myself. I can't speak in front of a group of people. Whereas I have never explored doing that. I have never done that in my life. I've never failed doing that, but I've developed this kind of belief about myself. So, in
Yes.
order to break this belief, I need to switch my mindset. So, instead of me telling myself that, oh, I can't do this because I've never done this, I need to replace this with me telling myself that I've never done this, but let me try doing this. I don't know how to do this, but maybe let me learn this from other people who are already doing it very well. So mindset shift is one way that we have to begin with. Yes, skill set matters. Like if you're doubtful about driving a car and if you can't drive a car, you can't drive. Like mindset would not matter if you don't have the skill of driving. But before that, you need to bring that shift in the mindset that, oh, I can do this. So I would say big change in the mindset is required in order to break self-doubt. If we don't do that, no matter you gain skill sets, no matter you learn from like zillions of courses and online or offline, you will not be able to get rid of self-doubt if you don't work on your mindset.
ओके। सो मैम, confidence is often misunderstood. Some people think it's an inborn trait. Either you have it or you don't. But the truth is, confidence can't be learned, practiced, and strengthened like a muscle. So, from your experience as a coach, what practical tools or methods have you seen actually work in helping people to become more confident, not just temporarily, but in a lasting and internal way?
Hmm. Okay. So when we are talking about being confident, there is a particular method that we can follow. One is number one, identify what is making me feel underconfident. For example, we'll take one example here of somebody who is not able to speak English fluently. They are consistently feeling underconfident because of that. So now I know the reason that, oh, I don't feel confident because I can't speak in English or I find it difficult to express myself in English. Second is I need to, number one, have this mindset that, oh, I can work on this. instead of telling myself I can't do this and I will never be able to do this. So one is the mindset shift that I talked about. Then I would learn, or I would maybe enroll myself in a course, or I would learn it for free online, that particular skill that is making me feel underconfident. So now one is you're working on your mindset. Oh, I can do this instead of telling I can't do this. Second is you're gaining that skill also with regular learning from people who are already good at it, from coaches, from online, from free resources, whatever works best for you. And then practicing that particular skill. So this is the most important part. If you can't practice something that makes you feel underconfident, you will never be confident about that. It's like I am saying that I want to speak English fluently, but I'm not speaking and I'm gaining all the knowledge of English grammar. I'm learning zillions of words every day, but I'm not speaking in English. So my mind is telling me that, yeah, I'm working on myself, I'm working on myself. And I'm maybe gaining just the foundational knowledge of that, but I'm not practicing that. So if I have to summarize this, in order to be confident in whatever part of your life, about whatever thing that makes you feel underconfident, one is learn that. Second is have the mindset that you can learn it, it's learnable. And the third is do this as much as possible. So as you mentioned that what has worked for people, I have seen people gaining confidence only when they practice what makes them feel scared. So if you're scared of speaking in front of people, you got to do that in order to be confident. If you can't do that, you will always win underconfident. It's as simple as that.
Okay. मैम, क्या आप कुछ स्पेसिफिक डेली हैबिट्स या रिचुअल्स रिकमेंड करेगी जो लोग अपने लाइफ में ला सकते हैं टू बिल्ड लॉन्ग टर्म कॉन्फिडेंस एंड इनर स्ट्रेंथ? समथिंग
Sure.
स्मॉल बट इम्पैक्टफुल दैट बिल्ड्स अप ओवर टाइम.
Why not? So, as we talk about mindset shift, now mindset shift is a term that I'm referring to, but people would be like, okay, how to bring this mindset shift, right? So, one very small daily habit that people can incorporate in their life is affirmations. I don't know if you have heard of this, but affirmations are statements that people tell to themselves in present tense. And when they start telling themselves these statements in present tense, their mind starts believing it every day.
लाइक
For
मैं ये काम
example,
कर सकता हूँ, मैं इतना
now
बेस्ट
there
हूँ,
is a
मैं
change.
दूसरों से बेहतर हूँ. This kind of?
There is a slight change that will bring to such statement. When you're saying मैं ये काम कर सकता हूँ, you're saying I can do this. I can do this, but you're not saying I do
Yes.
this. So instead of telling myself I can do this, you got to change this as I do this as a part of my daily life. For example, if somebody who is a smoker and if they wants to leave smoking, they would tell themselves every day, I will stop smoking one day. I will stop smoking. From Monday, I will not smoke. From 1st of January, I'll not smoke. From this, I'll not
Well said,
smoke.
ma'am.
So
Yes.
yeah, that's just procrastination. That's me just like making a fool of myself that I will stop doing this, but you're not going to stop. So you're going to bring that mindset shift, and at the same time, you're going to bring that identity shift in by telling yourself, I am not a smoker. So instead of telling yourself, I will stop smoking, if you tell yourself, I am not a smoker, you immediately bring that mindset shift, you immediately bring that personality shift. And now, anytime you're going to feel like, I want to smoke, you're going to feel that, oh, I'm not a smoker. So that is something you're going to remind yourself. So this is just an example. So when you said, I can do this, let's say I can speak in English in front of 100 people, somebody who
Yes.
feels underconfident about that. So I can, instead of saying I can speak, I'll say, I speak English in front of 100 people confidently. So it's a present tense. Now,
Yes.
this is one mindset shift. And if I build, let's say, 5 statements like these, which are affirmations, and if I start my telling these statements to myself every day, if I put this as a wallpaper on my phone, on my laptop, if I start telling myself these things every day, my mind is going to start believing that, number one. And if I combine it with the skill set that I'm gaining, it is going to bring the result. So as you said, one daily habit, if somebody has to bring in their life in order to let go low confidence, tell yourself good affirmations, and alongside keep on working on whatever skill that you think you lack, and that's what is going to make you feel confident and let go nervousness at a lot of situations.
वेल सेड मैम. मैम, इससे मैं खुद को भी कहीं ना कहीं रिलेट कर पाऊंगी, बिकॉज मुझे एक गंदा आदत है बार बार कोक पीने की, और मैं हमेशा यही कहती हूँ कि इस बार पी लेती हूँ, अगली बार से नहीं पीऊंगी. तो वो इस बार जब आ जाएगा उस दिन ये आदत छूट जाएगा। और जब तक ये जा रहा है कि नेक्स्ट टाइम से नहीं पीऊंगी, तब तक ये आदत यूं ही लगता चला जा रहा है।
Absolutely. It's like every year we tell ourselves from 1st of January, I'm going to start doing this, I'm going to do this, I will do this. It's never going to work. It's like you bring that change in the personality, in the identity, not the personality. In the identity, you bring that change and immediately you stop relating yourself to it. And that's when our actions also start, sinking what we are thinking.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So, ma'am, my next question is, there is a popular belief that people don't change, that your personality is set in stone by a certain age. This belief often holds people back from every trying to improve. How is it true, this idea, in your opinion?
People don't change. This is a statement that we tell ourselves when we don't want to change ourselves. So it's like I have a habit and I'm not changing that. And I'm telling everybody around me that this is something that I have been doing since childhood and I can't change this now. It has been years I'm doing
Exactly.
this. How can you tell me to change this now? So it's an excuse that we tell ourselves because we don't want to change it. But people do change if they are self aware and if they really want to change. To give you an example, if somebody, let's say, who is short tempered, if they're short tempered, they're going to tell themselves that I get angry at certain small things, right? So don't
हाँ,
ask me to do
हम
this.
ऐसा कहते हैं कि मैं अपने एंगर को कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकती।
नहीं कर सकता. Exactly. So that's the same thing, right? I can't change myself. I can't control
Yes,
my anger. So this is an excuse you're telling yourself because you don't
exactly.
want to control your anger, or you've never worked on it, or you've never given it a thought. Whereas if you replace it with, self awareness, and if you replace it with certain techniques that you can actually employ in order to let go of anger when you get it at like some small situations or small things, so you can work on it. So it's a belief. This is absolutely something that people endorse when they don't want to work on themselves. But this statement is not correct. I mean, you would find zillions of people, they have worked on themselves and they've changed certain things about themselves at the age of 60, like at the age of 55, at the age of 60. So they have been following a pattern for 50, 60 years and they're breaking that now at this age. So definitely that's possible.
मैम, कुछ लोग ऐसा बोलते हैं कि ये मेरे बस की बात नहीं है, तो आप उन लोगों को क्या कहना चाहोगी?
Again, when somebody says ये मेरे बस की बात नहीं है, it comes from like one major space where they are saying, uh, one, they are very underconfident about themselves, or whatever thing that they are looking at, जो वो कह रहे हैं मेरे बस की बात नहीं है, they think of it as something that they can't reach. So they have made this a belief again about that particular thing, that this is something out of my reach because I've never done this, because people coming from small villages like me, or people coming from small colleges or cities like me, or people coming from families which were not rich, it's not reachable for me. So it's again coming from some sort of conditioning which we got to break and start having a belief that I can do this, and learning how you will do this. So when we say mere bas ki baat nahi hai, that's just your conditioning speaking and not letting you grow and not letting you learn things how to like reach that particular thing. So it's again a way of like being underconfident and doubtful.
यस मैम। मैम, 2025 में अगर हम पर्सनालिटी की बात कर रहे हैं तो सोशल मीडिया को इग्नोर नहीं किया जा सकता है। While it connects us, it also creates a huge pressure to look perfect and compare ourselves constantly. ऐसे में जब हर वक्त फिल्टर्ड लाइफ, ऑनलाइन क्रिटिसिज्म और अनरियलिस्टिक ब्यूटी या सक्सेस स्टैंडर्ड देखते रहते हैं, तो कोई अपने मेंटल स्पेस को कैसे प्रोटेक्ट करे और अपने कॉन्फिडेंस को कैसे मेंटेन रखे?
Okay, so whatever we see on social media, that's like a food to my mind or a food to my brain. Okay, so it's like what I eat, my body becomes that. So if I'm going to eat junk food, my body is going to be unhealthy, my body is going to be unfit. Similarly, if I'm going to make my mind eat all of these things on Instagram, and whatever social media platform that we use, that is going to make me feel bad. I'm going to definitely turn out to be a person who is always jealous of others, who is not confident about herself, who is never content or satisfied in their life. So talking about whatever exists on social media, we need to draw a boundary there. When I talk about boundary, as in we need to know that okay, this is the food to my brain. I need to filter out what I see online, what I don't see online, and then it's my decision out of all these things what I'm going to let uh, myself get affected with. So when we talk about these unrealistic beauty standards, now I'm just looking at it. I'm just feeling bad about myself that oh, that person looks so good. Why don't I look myself? I look at look that way. Right? So you don't know that person's story. You don't know what that person eats. You don't know what that person goes through in terms of their exercise or daily habits. And you're simply looking at the result and then craving. Oh, I don't have this. So look at the story behind that also when you are looking at an Instagram post and making yourself feel bad. So the only way to protect this is protect yourself from this is draw a boundary and understand that this is a food to your brain and you got to pick which kind of food you want to make your brain eat.
मैम अगर हम इमेजिन करें जैसे हमारे इंस्टाग्राम पे यदि 50 लाइक्स आ जाते हैं तो हमें ऐसा लगता है कि यार इतने कम। लेकिन जस्ट हम इमेजिन करें रियल लाइफ में 50 इंसान ने हमें कॉम्प्लीमेंट दे दिया हो, हम तो अलग लेवल पे होंगे, लाइक हमारी खुशी का कोई ठिकाना नहीं होगा। बट लोगों के
Right,
माइंडसेट में ये शिफ्ट हो गया है कि नहीं, सोशल मीडिया पे 50 लाइक इज नॉट इनफ।
right.
तो तो मैम आप ऐसा कुछ टिप्स देना चाहोगी जिससे ये डिजिटल बाउंड्री को बिल्ड करके बिना आइसोलेट किए हुए डिजिटल बाउंड्री बिल्ड कर पाए?
Sure. So you need to set a standard that okay, this is my Instagram profile, and I'm going to give it this much importance in my life. Like this is very important for me. Oh, I have a lot of followers. It's very important for me to put content online. It's very important for me to, or I really like posting. I really want to show what's happening in my life online, but to this extent only. If I'm going to
So
make my entire life about this, if it's your career, amazing. But if you're making your entire life about likes and followers, that means you are demeaning yourself, and that means you are telling yourself that oh, your importance is being counted in the number of likes. So your importance is not something that can be calculated with the kind of beautiful relationships you have in your life, with the kind of work that you do at work, with how I mean people treat you. However, you are like demeaning yourself and you're telling yourself that okay, my importance is equal to the number of likes that I get on my social media. So you got to tell yourself that my social media is a very important part of my life, but only to this extent. These likes and followers that I have, these matter only to the extent to tell me that people like my content or not, if I'm a content creator, or if I'm not a content creator. This is only like for people who like my post to express their liking. However, it has nothing to do with how important I am in my life, or how relevant I am, or what I can do in my life. This is just like a parallel reality that exists, and I'm giving myself only this much importance, like giving this only this much importance. That's it. Only if we can have that standard set in our mind, we'll be able to work on this. Otherwise, we are going to continue getting affected by the likes and the followers, and like we are going to continue feeling bad about ourselves. So set a boundary and set a standard as to what importance you want to give to your social media. Otherwise, instead of you uh, like putting a lot of things on social media is going to put a lot of things on your head, and that is going to destroy how you think about yourself.
yes ma'am. Ma'am, we heard the term emotional intelligence and self-awareness a lot, especially in the context of leadership and personality growth. How do these qualities contribute to a well-developed personality, and what are some ways to become more emotionally intelligent and self-aware in daily life?
Sure. So I'll start with self awareness. Self awareness is when you're aware of who you are at core. And when I say who you are in all different ways, who you are in terms of your abilities, who you are in terms of your strengths, who you are in terms of your weaknesses, who you are in terms of your dreams, your achievements. So when you're aware about all these things, only then you will be able to work on this. It's like I'm not aware of my weaknesses, and I'm very sad about the fact that oh, I can't get that job. It's
Yes.
illogical, right? So only when
Yes.
I'm aware of my weaknesses, I'm going to work on that. I'm going to get that particular skill, and then I'm going to work towards, let's say, clearing that particular interview for that job. right? So because I was self-aware, I was able to work on myself. But there are so many people who are not even aware of what's wrong, or what is it that they lack, or they are not aware of, okay, what strengths they have. So it's like you're not aware of what you're good at, and so how will you sell yourself in the market, or how will you attract more opportunities? Because you think, I can't speak in English, I can't speak in English, but you have no idea. Maybe you could build a very famous Hindi podcast out of your skill sets, right? So being self-aware allows you to, number one, count your strengths, and then use those strengths in your favor, and count your weaknesses, work on your weaknesses, and remove whatever obstacles you get on your way to getting opportunities. So self-awareness is that important. And coming to emotional intelligence is your ability to be able to recognize your emotions, manage your emotions, and react or act emotionally in certain situations. So as I said, number one, recognize your emotions. If only if you are emotionally intelligent, you'll be able to understand what I'm feeling. Otherwise, you'll be like, my mood is off, mood swing. I don't know what to do. I'm always angry. I'm always irritated. But you are not emotionally intelligent to find, okay, what's making you irritated every day? Why are you so sad in your life? Why are you not happy? Or why are you not excited about moving to a new city, or let's say getting a new job, or getting into a college? So you're simply laying a statement, I'm irritated, I'm sad, I'm always angry. But when you're emotionally intelligent, you're able to recognize why, like what state you are, why are you feeling that, and as a result, how can you manage that emotion to be able to not let it affect other things in your life. And definitely, as I said in the beginning, that this is going to affect your relationship with you, this is going to affect how you communicate to other people, this is going to affect your relationship with other people, both professionally and personally. So self-awareness and emotional intelligence are two really, really important things that in today's day and era we need to work on that.
Okay. Ma'am, last but not the least, let's talk about failure. अगर मुझे सही याद हो तो छिछोरे मूवी में सुशांत सिंह राजपूत ने एक डायलॉग बोला था कि जीतने के बाद हमें क्या करना है ये तो सबको पता है, लेकिन हारने के बाद क्या करना है ये कोई नहीं बताता। तो मैं सोची कि आपसे बेहतर कौन ही हो सकता है इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर देने के लिए। सो मैम, क्या आप बता
Sure.
सकती हो कि हारने के बाद हमें क्या करना है, किस तरीके से कमबैक करना है या खुद को मोटिवेट करना है, खुद को पॉजिटिव रखना है?
Sure. Okay. So when we talk about failure, when I fail at something, one thing that I don't have to do, I'll come to what I have to do. What one thing that I don't have to do, I don't have to blame myself for not putting in enough efforts. Because if I'm going to blame myself that, oh, this happened because of me, oh, I could not do this, that means you're going to treat yourself as if you did something very wrong, and you'll never be able to overcome that, and you'll always continue to punish yourself. So, like, one thing that you got to get right mentally and emotionally is not blame yourself, and look at yourself as a human who is not always perfect and who's not always going to win in life. So look at it that way, and then on the other side, what you got to do is you got to analyze what went wrong. It's so simple. So what we do when we fail, we get into that guilt, we get into that sadness, and we don't analyze, we don't look at things logically. So get yourself out of it and look at things how they are. Okay, maybe I failed. Maybe I should have gotten this particular parameter better. What went wrong? Let me analyze. Okay, I practiced for 6 months. What went wrong? Why could I fail? Analyze what went wrong. Simple. And only when you'll be able to analyze, you'll be able to ask questions to other people that, okay, maybe how can I improve this? Then gain that particular skill and do it. So what we have done is when we look at success, life like seems so easy after achieving success because there is a path that is already decided. You are going to rise. Simple. But after failure, we have this thought that, oh, I'm going to sink, and we let ourselves sink in that sadness and we don't work on it. So it's just because I was so attached to that particular thing, I feel extremely bad. But at the same time, I need to get myself out of it and simply analyze and make a decision that I failed, and that's okay because I'm a human and I can not be always perfect. And this is life. I cannot always win. So let me analyze what went wrong. Oh, this went wrong. Let me learn this. But I only had one chance. Oh, I screwed this up in my life. So let me see what other paths that I have. Or if I'm going to attempt this again, let's improve this and let me do it once again. Simple. It's just to not be still and get synced in that sadness, but to continue working, okay, what went wrong, and analyzing and taking the next action which suits you in that situation the best. That's it.
Well said, ma'am. Well said. Very well said. Okay, ma'am. Now it's time for rapid fire round. Just short, fun
Okay.
answers, whatever comes to your mind. One word that defines you,
Because we are talking about personality development, emotional intelligence, and self awareness, so I would say self aware.
one mantra you follow to build confidence,
Just do it. Whatever makes you feel underconfident, just do it and get rid of that nervousness forever. Just do it. Yeah, my mantra.
your biggest fear and how you overcome it.
So at one point of time, my biggest fear was to create videos and put on Instagram. And I think I've done that. How I did it is by just doing it and realizing that nobody cares, nobody judges. It's just my mind telling this to myself. And that is how I got rid of the doubt regarding it.
One daily habit that changed your life.
At one point of time, I don't do it now, but affirmations really helped me switch my mindset and switch my identity to becoming a more confident person. So that really, really worked for me.
One piece of advice you would give to your younger self.
Don't take it too seriously, and don't think so much about yourself, because when you think so much about yourself you start analyzing a lot and then you start feeling doubtful. Just do whatever feels you feel like doing, and you're going to grow into a perfect, like, good individual in future.
Yes, ma'am. Well said. तो दोस्तों ये रहा हमारा फन फिल्ड रैपिड फायर राउंड और आज के सेशन में ये कह सकते हैं कि मैम ने हमें एक अलग नजरिया दिया है चीजों को देखने का कि हम किस तरीके से पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड के साथ चीजों को देख सकते हैं खुद से प्यार करने का अपने अंदर की कॉन्फिडेंस को पहचानने का और हर हार को एक नई शुरुआत बनाने का आई एम श्योर आवर लिसनर्स आर वॉकिंग अवे विद अ नोटबुक फुल ऑफ इनसाइट्स टुडे मैम थैंक यू सो मच फॉर बीइंग विद अस ऑन मिस माइंड थैंक यू सो मच मैम
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
मैम बिफोर वी साइनिंग ऑफ क्या आप कुछ लास्ट वर्ड या मैसेज देना चाहेंगे हमारे लिसनर्स को
I would definitely say that for anybody who feels very doubtful and underconfident about themselves, please, please, please start working on yourself, because this is actually something that you can get rid of. You have told yourself that, oh, I'm always underconfident and I'm doubtful about myself, and this is how my life is going to be. But you have no idea your life is going to be so much better if you start feeling confident about yourself. So please start working on yourself by bringing that mindset shift and doing whatever makes you feel nervous. So if you make this habit of doing anything that makes you feel scared, you do it, you're going to, like, change your life. So just do it. Whatever comes to your mind. Don't think too much.
so true ma'am so true thank you so much once again ma'am and to all our
Thank you.
listeners and to all our amazing listeners, if this episode made you think, made you feel, or made you reflect, then don't forget to subscribe, share it with somebody who really needs to hear this, and let us know what your thoughts are in the comment sections. Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and remember, your best version is already within you. You just need to meet it. So keep believing in yourself.